Salmonella enterica by Jessica Andrusek. Abstract. Salmonella is the third cause of global diarrheal death. Utilizing current research and literature, this presentation focuses on Salmonella enterica, specifically its epidemiological relevance, causes, risk factors, nursing implications, and potential future steps. Epidemiological issue. Salmonella enterica, or sometimes as referred to as Salmonella enteritis, can cause enterocolitis, which is severe diarrhea, and it could even lead to sepsis. It's characteristic of gram-negative rods, which won't retain the violet stain, and non-lactose fermenting, so neutral colored. This would then lead one to understand which antibiotics to use. There are over 1,500 stereotypes, and it goes through in a fecal oral route. It lives in the enteric tract of mammals, and it's more commonly associated with poultry. Its transmission can be that it's consumed and then enters the intestinal mucosa. Demographics and statistics. The CDC has estimated that 1.35 million illnesses, 26,500 hospitalizations, and 420 deaths each year are due to salmonella. Children under the ages of 5 and adults over 65 are very susceptible and more likely, and this specifically includes infants who are not breastfed. Others that are at high susceptibility are the immunosuppressed, so therefore people with sickle cell anemia or transplants or HIV are more compromised, and people taking certain medications. The infectious dose is a minimum of 100,000 organisms, and the organisms are high because they are inactivated by high acidity. So therefore, any kind of medications that would lower gastric acidity, such as antacids, will predispose an individual to salmonella. Background and literature review in regards to some historical background and studies that have been conducted regarding salmonella. They were first discovered by an American scientist named Dr. Daniel E. Salmon in 1885, and in a study where the goal was to identify the prevalence and diversity in salmonella. It was found that it's among the most important foodborne pathogen and a third leading cause of human death among diarrheal diseases worldwide. The primary source of this pathogen is fecal roux through animal-based foods, and therefore understanding the global epidemiology of Salmonella serovars would be the key in monitoring this bacterium. In this context, the study aimed was to evaluate and understand food-based products that are from beef, pork, poultry, seafood throughout 5 continents. Of those that were included are Africa, the Americas, Asia, Europe, and Oceania. The pathogen is commonly disseminated throughout domestic livestock and wild animals. So the symptoms that it is characterized by are acute fever, nausea, abdominal pain, and extreme diarrhea. Of those that are at high risks, they have been found to be malnourished children, those that have had recent malarial infections and sickle cell anemia, those that are immunocompromised, particularly of HIV. And in other literature, it states that as a health concern, it would be beneficial to research the trajectory of our changing environment and its effects on Salmonella. A review of factors linked to sectors by New York are attempting to find these patterns that are associated specifically with climate change. Why is this issue important? It is important because it is preventable. It's really about hand hygiene, in this case specifically in regards to where animals are in close proximity, and making sure you wash and smell your ingredients before you consume them. It is important because of the effects it has on the global population. It is the third leading cause of human death among diarrheal diseases worldwide. And it causes many people to get ill and have severe fever, diarrhea, and stomach cramps, which then can lead to hospitalizations and furthermore death. What are the nursing implications? Well, for one, wash and smell your food. Foods such as sprouts and other vegetables, eggs, chicken, pork, fruits, and processed foods. Hand hygiene is extremely important. Wash your hands for at least 20 seconds using soap and water, or you can sing happy birthday twice. Refrigerate your food. The CDC recommendations are to refrigerate or freeze perishables that can spoil or go bad quickly. Prepared foods and leftovers should be consumed within 2 hours or 1 hour if the temperature outside is 90 degrees Fahrenheit or hotter. Don't share or kiss animals or share water with livestock. So if you're near a well where there are livestock that are also sharing this well, I would consider thinking twice, or even hugging and kissing turtles and pets. Just be wary of that. Make sure you clean your animal cages, such as your terrariums, and wash your pet's bed. Also, make sure you take your pet to the vet to maintain a healthy lifestyle for your pet. And it will be your job as a nurse in order to educate your patients and the public for all of these risk factors and prevention. What are the next steps? Well, they are understanding the trends. For example, in hotter months, such as in the summer, there can be an increase of an outbreak. However, in 2013, there has been a show that there's a decrease of 9% of incidence of non-typhoidal salmonella. Not sure what it is right now. And as for risk factors, keep that in mind as well. So those as children and the immunocompromised, the elderly, those that have had transplants or recent infections. Also keep an eye out for recalled products. One example is Julie's cashew brie or ground turkey, which was more recent, and surveillance. Surveillance can be found on the CDC website as listed on the PowerPoint, and in active laboratory and population-based surveillance, you can find that in FoodNet sites. As for confirmed cases, those can be found on the National Notifiable Diseases Surveillance System, all also listed on the CDC website. All of these steps could be taken in order to prevent a salmonella outbreak and educate our patients and the health public going forward. Thank you.